What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pretty Spectacular Football Show. As you know, Pretty Girl Des here. And I have this other man next to me, which is Dr. Spag. He's kind of spectacular. But we are diving in. It's been a minute since we've seen y'all. I feel like it's been a minute since I've had this interaction. But none of that matters because we're here now. So let's get it correct. And what are we talking about today? We have a lot. We have a lot to discuss. A lot's been going on.
We have so much to talk about. And I think the biggest thing we have to talk about is Nick Saban. I mean, you can't you can't not talk about that, right? It's not something that you can just kind of
I can't.
let
I cannot talk about it.
it's I don't see how you can. I don't see how you cannot talk about Nick Saban retiring because of the way college football is. Deion Sanders even came out and talked about it. When you first heard the news today, what were your thoughts?
I was like, are
Oh, yesterday, I'm sorry.
are we are we serious? Are we sure? Are we sure? But then I saw the thank you post and I saw the stuff on I don't ever confirm something until I see ESPN post or something about it because I've been on so many different channels or like pages and they be dead wrong. So I was like, I'm wait till I see something on ESPN. And then I seen actually the first thing that I saw was the Deion Sanders quote about how the changes in football ran him out, and I was like, that's okay, okay. I wouldn't expect you to say that, but again, it's Deion, so of course he would. And then I seen the ESPN post, and I was like, wow, this is really happening. Like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you gonna do now? Like, who's gonna be the coach now? Like, what the era is like? It's like when Tom Brady left the Patriots. Like, what?
Yeah,
What?
it's mind-boggling that Nick Saban would leave, especially when he did. I didn't expect him to leave. Um, Even though they're on somewhat of a downward trajectory, if you look at Alabama, and if you listen to Nick Saban for the last few years, Nick Saban just a few years ago got in a little bit of a situation. He had a rift with Dion. I think when Dion was still at Jackson State, when he came out and was like, "Look, we need money." We was talking to sponsors, and he was like, "Well,
Mhm.
Dion just spent $1 million to get some kids to come over." I mean, he was wrong, of course, but at the same time he was kind of reaching out to his sponsor saying, "Hey, look, we need more money." He realized that there was a change coming in, and all of a sudden, you got to pay these players. I know there's a
Yeah.
guy who's on what's that Twitter who loves Bama. He's like, I don't give up but nothing but the Bam, but nothing but the Tide. All I care about is the Tide. You know my boy.
He was
So
rolling Tide for
yeah,
real.
so Willie, so Willie was like, and I ain't paying no players. And the guy who was talking to Willie was like, all right, cool. You don't want to play. Like, he said, you can't get around it no more. You can't get
Yeah.
around it anymore with the transfer
Yeah.
portal, right? And with what's going on right now, like the transfer portal and with NIL, you cannot get around paying these players. And if you don't want to pay players and you want to recruit like it was in the old days, and you want to keep players, not only okay, so Bama used to have this cool thing where if somebody got hurt, they bring in the next dude. It was no problem. You feel what I'm saying? But now you can't do
Yeah.
that because if you promise a 5-star kid that he gonna play this year,
He gotta play.
and if he don't play, he gone.
I
Period.
still really don't know. I mean, I guess it would be a topic for another time, but like I still don't know how I actually feel about the whole like pay the player thing. I just cause like I think it's taken like I see both sides of the story. Like I can agree with pay like some type of compensation, I guess. But I can also agree with the why are we paying them? They're not necessarily professional athletes and such. So like I feel like it's getting out of hand as we see. It's getting out of hand. I will say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that. We have so much more to discuss, but I just feel like the next person that comes in, the next future Nick Saban. It's like when Coach K like retired. Like when he retired from Duke basketball, I was like, what? Who is coming in here next? Because when you're in college, they have long tenures. So I'm excited to see. Obviously, we know there's like a new era coming in. It's like they're. I wonder if they're gonna like shoot up right away. But they have some top quality candidates that are out there that are if they're willing to go and move teams. I know Dabo Sweeney said he ain't leaving. Well, the president said he ain't leaving. But you know what I'm saying. But they are also not the Clemson is not really a part of like the super big NIL deals and the paying of the players and stuff like that too. So they're kind of still a little bit on the traditional side. I don't know completely 100%, but I understand this new era is really changing the game of football, and I don't know. I see positives and negatives for it, but I mean, Nick Saban is kind of old though, so it's not like his retirement wasn't coming up. He is
Nick
getting kind of
Saban has been coaching since 1973.
yeah. So that's
You,
as long as my mama been alive. So yeah, I mean,
you started at
it's
Kent
okay.
State.
It's okay. Like him and Bill Belichick was with the Cleveland Browns and stuff. Like it's great. Like he had a wonderful career. So I'm pretty sure that this may be like the narrative, but I'm pretty sure like he really wouldn't go if he really wasn't ready. Like he been coaching for way too long.
Let me ask you this question just to kind of wrap it up here. Nick Saban was at LSU. He touched my heart so much because he brought us a championship. That's when I first fell in love with Nick Saban. But I fell out of love in 2004 when he dipped out on us, right? Um, so Nick Saban tried his hand at the NFL with the Miami Dolphins, right? He was a part of the whole thing that got he was a part of the whole thing that got Drew Brees to New Orleans. So thank you again for that, Nick. But if you look at Nick Saban, right? He tried his hand from I think 2005 to 2006 with the Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Work out. He went back for from 2007 to just now with Alabama. There are multiple openings in the NFL right now. Would Nick try his hand one more time at the NFL in your opinion?
I mean, could he? Absolutely. People like his record speaks for his name speaks for itself. Could he? Like, but a lot of I think he will be great. I don't know. Could he try his hand? Yes. Would he be great in a position? Yes, because the knowledge and everything will come back to that. Do I think he will? It depends. He didn't give a speech like Pete Carroll's. Well, I know we're going to touch on that later, but I haven't heard him really speak about how he really feels about leaving and retiring. Because I mean, he could go next up. He could go be chilling and be an OC. I mean, Pittsburgh need him. I mean,
My buddy did
anyway,
say he was tired. He was tired of giving. And so, look, my boy said in the comments, Crispy, welcome, Crispy. He said Nick Saban tired of carrying the economy of Alabama on his back.
I mean, listen. He like, listen, I'm listen, y'all better figure something out. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else. Get somebody else to do it because I don't want to do it.
They talked about Dion going over there. How do you feel about it?
He ain't leaving. He better not. He better not. After all that stuff been going on and how he been saying Colorado is the place for me. My mom's here, my sister's here, my cousin, uncle, brother, children, horse, whoever is there. He better ride that train while he can. He ain't going nowhere. Just like they say the same thing about Clemson. Dabo Swinney gonna go. He ain't going nowhere. Stay where you at.
Then I don't know who going, but somebody headed over there.
Somebody, and they better know what they're doing because at this point they're gonna be like, "Yeah, out of here." They're gonna give them like a 2-year out of here, 2-year out of here, till they get it right.
If they're not in, so if they come in and they're losing more than 5 games, that person's out first year, most likely, right? But it's tough. Look at, I mean, I like the quarterback.
Like you had the Nick Saban. Like, come on,
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
You're never gonna find another him.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Not in this day and age when too many play. Okay, so the thing that makes the NFL so how can I say it changes so often who the dominant team is because you have so much change every year in roster, right? Now in college you wouldn't have that. You'd have 4 years, or at least 3 years of a stable roster. You don't have a stable roster anymore. Every year that roster fluctuates because of the transfer portal.
Yeah. Which is a part, which is the kind of that's one of the negatives that I see is because like trying to mimic it exactly like the NFL and it's not the NFL. I have my negative moments about it, but you know what I don't have negative moments about? The Ozell brand.
Me neither.
You like how I put that though, right? Yeah. So we always got to thank our sponsor who helps us put on these videos and podcasts and all the things that we do. So let's just give them a shout out really quick right now.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
Yo,
It's a lifestyle.
it's a lifestyle. It's not just a brand. It's a lifestyle. Yo,
And a
shout out
part
to
of the lifestyle is getting fired. So
yeah,
let's
shout out to the Ozell brand, man. They do so much for us. We love the Ozell brand. Thank you so much for all y'all do for the podcast.
of course. But like I said, a part of the lifestyle is also getting fired. And as you made it now like known to me, we have a thing called Black Monday. Is that what it's called? Black
Yes,
Monday?
yes. Black
Yeah.
Monday. Yep, Black
Okay.
Monday, and it's not an
So
HBCU thing. It's Black. It's Black Monday. It's Black
no,
Monday.
y'all.
Shout out to all my HBCUs.
Oh, okay.
But
There we go.
it's Black Monday. It's the day after the last Sunday of the football season, right? Of the NFL football
Hmm.
season, when coaches who were on the hot seat get fired. Case in
Hmm.
point, Arthur Smith. So Arthur Smith got in a bit of an altercation with Dennis Allen after the
Oh, they was
Saints.
mad. He was
They was
mad.
he was so hot. He was so hot. And as well he should have been hot, right?
Come
Come get
on. I mean,
fired.
no. You are a Saints fan, so you should already know the rivalry runs deep. Like the hate is real.
That
So
it wasn't even about the rivalry.
I understand it was a victory formation. I
Yeah.
understand, but it's football. Football is not. They need to stop making it so soft. They did what they wanted to do. As he said, it was a team decision. As a team, we wanted to do it. So
As
they
who
did what
said?
needed to be done.
As who said? Jameis Winston.
That's your quarterback. What do you
That ain't
say?
look. No, I love Jameis. So let me
I'm
not
just
go
saying.
there.
I'm
I
just
love
saying. They said
Jameis.
it was a team decision. So but you know what else? What I found was funny. Somebody told me that they fired Ron Rivera on his birthday.
Hey, that was foul.
So it
But
is true. I thought they was lying
necessary.
to me. I said, y'all just
Listen,
hold
listen.
on.
Ron had to go, but at the same time, right? You look at Ron Rivera. You look at Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith actually, when he first came in, he had the Falcons doing pretty decent with the limited amount
Mhm.
of talent. But it tells me something. Arthur Smith situation tells me something, and Ron Rivera's situation tells me something too. If you don't have a great quarterback and you're just starting, fans have lost patience with a building process. Nobody wants a building process in college or the NFL, right? Like people don't believe in the slow build. You got to be showing new promise every year. When Ron Rivera went into this season with Howe as his quarterback, I said, "Dang, that ain't no good
That ain't
plan."
it.
I said it. I said as much as
That ain't
people.
it. That ain't,
If anybody could hear me, I was saying it over and over again. I'm like, hey, that ain't it, fam.
that ain't
Like,
it. That ain't it.
no, that ain't it. And so, but they say, hey, we can build him, we believe him, stop it. I saw this kid in the Senior Bowl.
Hmm.
He was not it, and I could tell. All right, so you go from that situation, right? You got the Ron Rivera situation. Arthur
Okay.
Smith, he trusted in Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter is not a horrible quarterback. He's beat us before. He's not a horrible quarterback, but at the
Right.
end of the day, he
He's
ain't
not great
elite.
either.
No, he ain't elite. And you've benched him, and you brought in Heineke, you benched him, you brought in Heineke, and then you bring him back because you have to bring him back because Heineke gets hurt. If you don't have an answer, man, it is a really tough situation. And so because
But
of that, go ahead. I'm
now
here
I
for
was
it.
gonna
Go
say
ahead.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, right?
Go
Because we
ahead.
literally just talked about how if you don't have 4 years at a stable place and you go into the NFL and you have an unstable place, it mirrors each other in a way though. Because if you have 4 years to develop under a coach like Nick Saban, and then you move into this team to where you're supposed to be automatically dynamic, you're like it a lot of the rookie quarterbacks, minus a few who have come out and been elite, but a lot of them are struggling in terms of quarterback. I'm not talking about the other position, but a lot of them are struggling, and it could be like, well, either you just aren't great and you don't fit the team mold, the QB coach is bad, or just like the whole situation, this whole college to NFL situation is just jacked up. And I see that because for one, like a lot of people we're saying like Desmond, we're like, who is that? Or like, how? Who is that? Like, no, we don't know these people, but we didn't know Tom Brady either when he became, the quarterback for the Patriots. And then now Tom Brady is a neighborhood name. Like, all you hear is Tom and immediately Brady. It just comes, right? So I get it. I agree to what you're saying. Like, if they don't want the slow process and the rebuilds, but unfortunately, that's just how kind of football works. Unless you're just gonna keep jumping around, and then hopefully something hits. But football to me, is a growing sport, and especially when you have certain people in places for so long. Unless you got the top elite quarterback coaches coming in and the top quarterbacks coming out the draft, I mean, this is a new era of football. So I feel like teams are gonna continue to bounce around until something has to give. But I know another coach that I thought was going to get fired was the Chicago Bears coach, and he did not get fired, but their offensive coordinator got fired. And it's like, okay, well,
now I'm gonna say something with him too, right?
Chicago's been having a very hard time, period.
But he's in a situation.
He's in
a situation. Here's where he's in a situation, which is so funny to me. And let me tell you, okay, I'm gonna talk about the Commanders right after I say this point. Right? He's in a weird situation because no, he did not get fired, right? But
he was put on notice.
Yes, he's been put on notice. And here's what he has to decide going forward. Do I move forward with Justin Fields as my quarterback who's shown great promise, right? But he's been either hurt or sometimes he's not showing so much promise, right? Do I move forward with the Justin Fields situation and just stockpile all these other things? Or do I take the godsend who people believe he's going to be in Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick, right? So do I make that move or do I go with... Run it? What'd you say?
That makes me angry because Chicago has ruined. I don't care what nobody say. They have ruined Justin Fields because he should have been the God sent, but they haven't done it. I'm always going to root for. You need to develop your QBs coming into the NFL. It doesn't matter if they were amazing in college. This the NFL was totally different. You need to develop them, and if you do not have a good QB coach or a good offensive coordinator or somebody that can talk their language, then it's not going to work. And unfortunately, the coaching that they had, I don't believe was the coaching that he needs. Everybody learns differently. Everybody develops differently. So you have to, if your quarterback is going to be your franchise front, you need to get somebody that speaks the language that they speak so you can develop them, because his good moments were amazing. His bad moments were absolutely terrible. So it's like, they're not doing him a service. And what is he going to do? Go be like Mitch Trubisky and go somewhere else and suck just as bad because he ain't developed over his time in Chicago? Chicago is ruined. They're rotting. They are rotting like a root canal. Something they just need to be pulled out, rooted, and something. But go ahead and talk about the Commanders because I don't want to go on around about. I want to go on and on about this. So I'm let you have it. Talking about the Commanders. Did he leave me? He's like, we want to talk about the Commanders. Y'all, I think I done stole the show. And just because of that, I'm going to talk about somebody else who got fired. So we all know that the Carolina Panthers, fired their head coach and their GM. So they got to start all over again. I think the GM was there for 3 years. Again, not trusting the process or not embracing the process, but also it could also mean because you did not start off with a good pick from the beginning, that's why you're here right now. Because you gave a man a job who really didn't deserve it, who really was not cut out for the job. And then you're wondering why you got to fire him 3 seasons later.
So
the Carolina Panthers have to start all over again as well.
Okay. So, Carolina, you can hear me now, right?
I can hear you now. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Stack. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's so funny what can happen with batteries. Either way, I was going to talk about these Commanders, and I'm going to go to the Panthers too. Here's the situation. I love the voice he's chiming in. Voice said the Broncos stupid GM should have taken Fields. But listen, so Washington last year had a chance with 16th overall pick. They went and got Emmanuel
Mhm.
Forbes, as opposed to getting Will Levis. At that
Oh,
point,
don't start this. Don't start
I'm
this.
gonna start it. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna
Don't
start it
start this.
because
This man has been Will Levis to the Commanders since and you know what? I give it to you, you know, because you've been loyal to that Will Levis to the Commanders for this whole time. So I give it to you. I give it to you.
Look, I'm gonna say it. Look. I said it during the draft, and
You
I'm saying it. I
did.
said it in a mock draft. I'm like, you cannot move forward with Sam Howell. That can't be your answer.
Mhm.
And
It
they
can't.
did it anyway. They did it anyway. And because they did it anyway, this is the result. I was like, yo, don't do that. I see my
Yeah.
man. And I'm like, he ain't the answer. And we've on this podcast, we brought in people, not this one, but on MTMV Sports, we brought in people from people who scouted him in college, and they told me he wasn't the answer.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
saw it for myself. I believed in them. That wasn't it. So hey, they had a chance.
Wait,
They didn't do it. This is what it is. Okay, so Carolina's proof
let me
positive of quarterback picks being a crapshoot. I'm not gonna say that because, like you said earlier, and I believe in Dez, and here's what Dez said. Dez said when nobody could hear me, Dez was saying that quarterbacks struggle sometimes in their first year. Bryce struggled. He struggled, right? But Peyton
Mhm.
Manning struggled. Is his name
Right.
not synonymous with greatness now? Right? Trevor Lawrence struggled. He's not great now, but he's taken his team to the playoffs and he's done well, and his job or his
Yeah.
legacy is in danger. Bryce Young has a chance to find a way to get to that place where he's showing all the tools and all the promises that we thought he would, before. Yes, the coach wasn't the coach might not have been it, just like the coach might not have been it with Trevor Lawrence. However, I can't judge that young man yet until I give him some time to
Yeah.
grow and show me.
That part. That's the part. Like I think he didn't just show he did not show promise, and he did not be so high. Like, give us some time. You got to get the right coaches in place to help him develop into the great man that he could be. And that's all I'm gonna say. As you said, the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, they're not great just because they just came out great. Like, they're great because of who was behind them and who led them to be great.
Yeah,
So I think if they get the right people in place, it'll come around for him.
It
I
takes
believe
some
in
time.
him.
Can I tell you a lot of people who would have kept their job if they'd have taken my dude Will Levis? All right.
We about to move on.
Bill
I'm gonna
Belichick.
let you have it though. Will Levis, if you ever see this, make sure you shout out my man, because he's been rooting for you before you even got to the draft, my man. He's been rooting for you.
Just saying, Bill
I'm gonna
Belichick.
tag him. So I'm gonna take this clip and tag him.
Hey, it's a lot of people out there who still would be employed if they'd have took my man.
Mhm.
Anyway,
You
so
know?
yeah. All right. So who else did we say who we had to talk about? We talked about
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
He's not done coaching. I just feel like he's probably done and over the Seahawks sugar honey iced tea, in my opinion. They say he's going to stay on as an advisor, but if I believe if he gets a head coach opportunity, he's going to take it, and that's just what I think. It's my opinions, so I don't know. What you think?
I think he's in a bad place because he's stuck in between the two young geniuses. And when you're surrounded by young geniuses and your team doesn't seem to be, I don't know, innovative offensively, then it seems that you're behind the eight ball a little bit, right? And the other teams are having much success. You got Sean McVay, all right. You got what's my dude, Kyle Shanahan. You got offenses that people are fearing every time they see them. They're scared of them, right? But they're not fearing the Seahawks offense, and the reason they're not is because it doesn't bring you any type of offensive, I don't know, genius behind the whole situation.
Well, they also had I love me some Geno, but they also had Geno Smith. So I mean,
they did have Geno, but let's not act like Geno Smith.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying
wait.
that.
Let's pull Geno Smith and put him in San Francisco and tell me Geno Smith can't beat Brock Purdy. Bam.
We will only know that if he gets over there.
No, we know right now, because Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant and Mr. Irrelevant. Listen, I dropped that clip on our show. Doug Williams, Shaq Harris, Michael Vick, all of them, and a lot of other analysts will all be saying, "Hey, you know what, man? That's a great system." When you ask them about the greatness of Brock Purdy, you know what they always say? That's a great system.
Mhm.
He got a lot of people.
Yeah,
Doug
the
Williams is like
system
you
does
got,
work because they do have a lot of weapons
and they got
around
a lot
him.
of weapons. You got Christian McCaffrey, you got Kittle, right? You got Ayuk, you got Debo. Like he got a lot of weapons around him,
Yeah,
and that system is phenomenal. I don't know if you take Geno and put him in that system that he wouldn't work, because I believe he would. What that means to me is that
the
there
Seahawks system is not working.
there's an age of youth that's coming. Like this is the era of the young genius, and everybody's looking for the next one. It's a copycat league, and everybody's looking for the next genius. Sorry,
Yeah.
Pete, and I
Well,
love
and
Pete.
to talk about the end of the era before we move on, we have to bring up the legendary Bill Belichick. He announced him and the Patriots announced they were parting ways. And it's like a hit in the heart again with like the whole like the Nick Saban thing, the Pete Carroll thing, the Bill Belichick. These men have been around for ages. Yeah, ages,
Yeah,
yeah.
ages.
And I
I
don't
gotta
know.
I gotta give a shout out to my man who's on our team, Rob Redeem. If you go on our website, Rob Redeem wrote an article, and I put this in our group earlier that opened my eyes to something. He questioned the GOAT status of Bill Belichick, and he questioned
Mhm.
it because of his lack of success outside of the Tom Brady era. How do you feel about that?
I feel like don't disrespect him. He is a goat, regardless. Regardless.
You can't be a GOAT
Regardless.
though.
But
And
no, he is a goat, but he was successful before, and I mean, was he not successful after? He wasn't as successful after Tom Brady, but like also look at his team. Look who he had.
yeah, but you
Again,
know what?
again, you have a system that we talk about the system. We had a system that was built around Tom Brady for so many years, and then you take the man who helped to put the system together, you take him out and you put him somewhere else, you retire, he goes to another team or whatever, and then you have to rebuild the entire system. That system has been that way for years. It's no way that you thought within 2 to 3 seasons it was going to be back to the dynasty New England Patriots. Like that was not going to happen.
I'm
That was
I'm
not going to happen.
I'm gonna
The
give you
whole
something.
system crumbled. So you have to rebuild a whole new system. If I was
That's
Belichick, I'd be like, I'm out of here. I'm tired of building this crap. I'm out of here. I'm
and
going to get somebody else to do it. Why
that might
I
have been
gotta
what
be the one to
happened.
do it?
That might have
Yeah,
been what
you
happened.
feel me? He like, man, y'all the one that probably wanted this Mac Jones person, and I done got him, and now he sucks. I'm tired. I'm old. I'm tired. Just give me a system that works. Let me, but we also don't know, like, they always say, like, oh, the head coach makes all the decisions. Like, they do not.
Josh McDaniels. People don't want to hear that. I know, but nobody wants to hear that, right? Let me see. Over the years, a lot of quarterbacks got jobs because they played well in the system for a couple games. That's big facts. That's big
Mhm.
facts, right?
Well,
But
Mac Jones was a proven point. He
when
wasn't good in that
McDaniels
system. He
left,
needed his own system.
I kind of felt that ship was sinking. But I still didn't think it
But
was
he should have
over.
stayed because look what he got fired.
So when he comes back, he should be the He should be the coach of the Patriots. He should be the coach. He did get fired.
I mean, he always talk about the Patriot way, baby. If you know the Patriot way, come on over here. Come on over here. Bring it on back.
Bring Josh.
Bring it
That's
on back.
it. Hey, we figured out the
He
answer.
knows and understands the Patriot way. They had their answer.
Yeah.
They had their answer. Belichick said, get somebody else to do it. Bring Josh up in here because I'm not dealing with y'all BS no more. I'm too old for this crap. It's either going to be me or Josh, and I tell you, just take Josh. I'm gonna make some money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Get
thank
Josh.
you.
Get Mike Vrabel, as an assistant in some way, right? So get Josh, get Vrabel, or get Vrabel and bring Josh as an offense coordinator. Either way, it could work. It could work.
It could work.
Bring back the old Patriots to bring back the old
work.
Patriot way. I'm with it.
Well, it'll actually be like the new Patriot way because Bill is gone. Bill is a part of the old. This is gonna be the new Patriot way.
It will
but
be.
They understand the Patriot way.
Yeah.
So it'll work.
Yeah, bring them back. Bring Josh.
Their identity will start coming back.
Yes. And get rid of
Mac Jones. They need to put us on the board. They need to put us on the coach's board.
I think we got something here.
On the coach's board.
People think Josh can't be a head coach because it hasn't worked outside of New England. And it's been 2 times, right? And my boy Voice can attest to this, right? It hasn't worked. But I feel like in the right situation, He can be.
It could.
And
It could
in this
work.
situation, as baby Belichick, which is what he would
It
be for a
could
year or
work.
two, it could possibly work. And so bring Josh to this place, and if this happens, we running this tape back because ain't
Yo,
nobody else saying this. Ain't nobody else saying it.
welcome home.
If we running this
Yo,
tape back, and I'm not Nostradamus, I'm not, but I am a visionary, and I got a vision for Josh coming in and running it. And if Josh ain't there, then please, some NFL team, go get this young offensive genius and bring him to your system. We can't get him
right.
with the Saints because he didn't get along with Derek Carr, but that's a different story.
You know he won't work in Pittsburgh. They're a little gritty. They're a little grunny. I'm like
He
Vegas.
could work there.
I
He
don't
could
think
work.
so.
You don't think so?
Next week we're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on because you know what? We're running out of time. The
Let's get
train
it.
has arrived. We're gonna roll on in to the NFL playoffs. So we can't spend too much time on it because I don't even want to talk about it right now. Okay. I just know that the brackets are set. I seen I seen a meme. It was a post, not a meme. It's a post, right? They showed the NFL Super Bowl logo, right? And the colors. And it was like, if you notice for the past 3 or so years, the colors of the logo has been the teams that went to the Super Bowl. So last year it was red and green. Greenish, it was giving like the Miami vibes, but they was in Arizona. This year is red and purple. And the top 2 seeds in the league right now, the Ravens and the 49ers. The year before that was the colors of the 2 teams that went. So like, it's given, I don't know, conspiracy theory, I don't know. But a lot of teams, Super Wild Card weekend is coming up. Go back and look at those logos. Go back and look at those logos. And I don't even text me and tell me what you thought, because I promise you it made a lot of sense to me when I looked at the logos and I was like, well, and it was like the team that has the most color on the logo is the team that typically loses, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw something on Instagram. Somebody said that you were their favorite sports authority. That's what somebody said. Now, it was a young man, so I don't really know his intentions for real. But I'm going to say that this type of insight is pretty good stuff.
I mean, just saying.
That's some pretty good stuff. That's some pretty good stuff.
Just saying, but okay. But Super Wild Card weekend is going to go down. It's going to dwindle down to then they're going to get to the divisions. A lot of good games going on.
All right, look, since you said we got to go faster here, so I'm gonna throw it to you, right? Like we'll switch off, right? I'll do the first matchup. We got 6 matchups here, right? I'll do the second one. Let's rock with you first, ladies first. Let's go with. I'm not gonna give you that one. You know what? I am gonna give you that one because you are amazing. So okay, then I'm gonna go a different way. All right, let's go with Dallas and Green Bay. Who you got in that one?
Okay, so teams of the struggle. Low key, in my heart, I want to say Dallas gonna pull out because they're at home. They play better when they're at home. But Green Bay is that surprise team. Green Bay has been a surprise team all season. But I do feel like Dallas has a little bit more weaponry. I love what Green Bay has got going on, and I love their system that they're building off of, especially trying to find their identity after Aaron. But I also feel like if Dallas loses at home, this is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I'm gonna say Dallas. They finally gonna get past the first round of playoff.
They ain't gonna hear the end of it if they can't beat Green Bay.
If they
ain't going,
and at home,
Dak will not hear the end of it.
He need to be fired if they lose. I'm not playing. You know how I feel about Dakota.
Hey, you'll probably see Bill Belichick in Dallas if they don't win this game.
And will.
That's fact. Okay, now you pick one for me.
Okay, let's go with Steelers Bills.
Okay, bet.
Just so I don't get it, because I would have to speak. I can't. Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Ma'am, I don't like to do this to you. But I'm gonna be dead honest with you. The Steelers.
I know what you're gonna say.
The Steelers have been good enough in these cases to get past the first round and surprise the world. It ain't happening this time around. Buffalo is not the team that everybody thought they were going to be. They're not, but
Mhm.
they're still good enough to beat
Yeah.
the Steelers when the Steelers are still lacking a true offensive identity. It's just
Yeah.
lacking, and me and you both know. So since we know, I'm gonna just give it to you straight and go with the Bills for this one. However, I'm hoping I'm wrong for your sake. But you know what? I have a friend who likes the Bills too, so I can't completely say that. But
I didn't to be honest, I didn't think we were gonna get here. So the fact that we're just in the playoffs, I mean, so some people can shut up.
that's facts.
I'm good.
That's
I'm a
facts.
legacy fan. I'm a ride with them whether they win, lose, draw, tie. I'm always gonna be there.
Shout
So
out to Tomlin though. Never having a losing
yes,
season
yes, shout
and
out
getting to the
to him.
playoffs again with not having Mahomes at quarterback, not a Lamar Jackson at quarterback, but he's just
Hmm.
consistently bringing the Steelers to the playoffs because he's a dude like that. I mean, not every year to the playoffs, but you can't if you're gonna be in a conversation at the last week
Right,
of the season, and that's shout
right,
out to him. So
right. So I'm
congratulations. I'm
happy.
with
I'm
that.
happy regardless.
Bet I got one for you here. I got one for you. Houston,
Okay.
Cleveland. Who you got?
Okay, so we love what CJ Stroud is doing over there in Houston, but I tell you something, those Browns. It's so crazy that the Ravens, the Browns, and the Steelers are all in the playoffs. Like that, crazy, crazy. Whatever division has got that going on. So for division's sake, I'm going to say that somehow, some way, the Browns figure out how to pull out a win. I think it's gonna be very close. Um, but CJ and them are playing at home. I don't know. I feel like the Browns are a little bit more seasoned, and I feel like it may be their time. It may be their time.
Yo, give
And I don't
me
even like the Browns.
look,
So
I'm not somebody who's in love with the Browns either. But I do like this Flacco story. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
give
He
me
came off the
resurrected Flacco.
couch. He
Give
came
me
off the
resurrected
couch.
Flacco. Yo, if you in the comment
He
section, it's
knows
not
how to
crazy if they
win. He
lose. It's
knows
the
what to
Cowboys.
do.
Look at the
Huh?
voice. Look at the voice. It's not crazy if they lose. It's the Cowboys.
You are correct there.
Yeah, it still would feel crazy to me. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's the Browns though, and I love what they have because I mean they have good running backs in the backfield, and nobody thought that they would, but they do in Ford, in Hunt. So I'm loving that. I love him. Amari Cooper is bringing if he's
Mhm.
supposedly healthy. They saved him for the last week of the season, so he'll be there. It's Cooper's revenge because you know what I mean. Like Cooper has a chance to go back to Texas and do something amazing.
Mhm.
I'm loving. I mean,
And
not
then
Houston, but in Texas
The
still.
Flacco super story. Like
Yeah,
what?
but this rookie is another storyline I'm in love with. So, who you going with? Give me your team. Who you got? You got Cleveland, right?
I'm gonna say Cleveland only because I feel like not saying sometimes the underdogs can come, and at this point I feel like because CJ Stroud is a rookie, he's more
Mm,
aligned on the underdogs story. Like that
yeah,
could be his Cinderella story for having an amazing season. But I also know that Joe Flacco has been here before and he knows how to win, and he has a more to me a little bit more veteran. You know, I just don't know. But I do know that the Texans do have probably rookie of the year, both on offense and defense with Will Anderson. So they have like it's not going to be a game where it's like a Superdome blowout. I feel like it's going to be like it's going to come down to the wire of who wins this game. It'd be better if they tie. Just go ahead and tie it. I don't know.
they ain't gonna be able to tie. They got to play till it's over because ain't no next
just
week for
shake up.
somebody. Yeah, somebody going
Yeah.
home. And if you got Cleveland, I'm going with Houston. I believe in the rookie and I want to see him do well. All right, cool. Now you pick one for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Dolphins Chiefs.
Nasty
Mm.
work. All right. So if I'm looking at the Dolphins and Chiefs, I really love Patrick Mahomes and I really love the Chiefs. I have not been a Chiefs fan ever because I'm a Saints fan, but I've always been somebody who loves young success, especially with
Yeah.
this young man who I met in person one time and had a chance to shake his hand, take a picture with, whatever. As I look at that, those receivers have not helped that young man at all, and they have more
It's like they hate
drops.
him. Like
It It's like they don't
What he
want
do
this
to
man to
y'all?
succeed. You feel what I'm saying? It's like they've watched the TikToks of his brother and was like, you know what? Because of him and that family, I'm done. I really want some more success for them. But outside of their success, I'm a big fan of this Tyreek Hill coming to making his way to Kansas City and playing the Chiefs. I'm a big proponent of that. I'm a big
Mhm.
fan of watching Tyreek Hill go and play the Chiefs. And I'm also a big fan of Tyreek Hill giving them their ticket home. You got Tua, you got Tyreek Hill, you got my guy Mike McDaniels. Like I love this. I love their storyline. I love what they got going on, and I want that speed to continue. Chan. I love the whole vibe. There's so much speed over there. I'm with Miami, and those weapons don't let Tua down as much as Mahomes' weapons let him down. So I'm going with Miami.
Wow. Okay. So the Super Bowl champs are not going to make it to the next round. That's crazy. But we've seen it
First
before.
round knockout.
We've seen them before and not make it. So I mean, that's understandable. That's
Yep.
understandable.
First round knockout. Hey, Detroit and LA. Who you got?
Ooh, I'm so glad you gave me this. Woo, God. Okay, so listen, they always say that the LA Rams in the playoffs is a dangerous team. They say they dangerous. They said the last time that they made the playoffs, they ended up going to the Super Bowl. Go back and look at that logo. Okay. Okay. But you know what? I've been a Detroit rooter since Dan Campbell got over there. Y'all know I love me some Dan Campbell. If you know me, you know I love me some Dan Campbell, just like I love me some Mike McDaniels. So Detroit is a surprise team to me. Detroit and Green Bay are the surprise teams that made it into the playoffs. So I'm not rooting for Green Bay, but I'm a root for Detroit. I feel like Detroit has something special. They've always had something special. They've been working and building on it for years now. And I just love me some Dan Campbell. Like I don't even know. I don't know. I feel like the Rams know how to win though. So it's not going to, it's another game none of these games are going to be easy for them to win. None of these lineups are easy. This is probably going to be the best football since week 2 that we've seen.
It's going to be some good football.
So it's going to be whoever paid to win. I don't know.
Look, I'm with you. I'm with you with the Detroit love. I really am. And even though the Rams are really hot and they have a lot of weapons, and Detroit sometimes Detroit's defense isn't as scary as some might believe, right? Even though Aaron Glenn is up for some head coaching roles, their defense is not that scary or that great in my eyes, right? And not just in my eyes, but this bears out if you look at all the games. You can see it in general. You can look at the stats and see it's not there. They're not that great. So with that being said, they're vulnerable. And if they're vulnerable to a hot team like the Rams,
the Rams
are hot, man. They got Puka Nacua, right? They got Cooper Kupp. They have Kyron Williams. Like they have a litany of things going on. Like they got weapons.
And the Rams season is finally starting to come together. Because at first it was like, what is going on with them? But it's finally starting to work.
Like they have a lot going on.
That's what I'm saying. They know how to win. Like I want the Lions to win. I want the Lions to win.
Yeah.
I feel like they could pull out a win. It's going to go down. Like I said, it's going to go down to the deaths. But I can't be ignorant to the fact that I know that the Rams know how to win. That system knows how to win.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you look at, so you got Dan Campbell, McVay, right? And when you look at Dan Campbell versus McVay, now I love the grittiness of the Lions. I'm a Lions grit guy too, right?
Yeah.
Love that stuff. Love the fact that they fight so hard and love the fact that they've been on the come up for a minute. At the same time,
they also have never won anything like this, at least on Dan Campbell, right?
They haven't been here. I mean, they haven't been here since the 60s, so they haven't been here.
That's what I'm saying. Like they don't know this. They don't know how to win. Yeah. I think knowing how to win is very important, and when it comes to the playoffs, you have to know how to win. So either they've been studying their butts off all week to figure it out and playing like they're going to the Super Bowl already, or they're gonna go in like it's another game, and they're gonna get to halftime and be like, "Oh, hold up."
I don't think so.
You can go home.
I don't think they'll get overwhelmed. They got too many. Those guys have great mentors. So, um, if you know the connection right with Dan Campbell and Sean Payton, they've been there.
Mhm.
Like you have guys, you have mentors who've been there before, so you can reach out to them to figure out how to approach this situation and how to make sure that my team's not overwhelmed by the moment. So, and the same thing, both of those guys came from that Sean Payton lineage, and they can both reach out, right? Because I'm pretty sure that relationship is still there. That mentorship is always around. So I don't foresee them coming in there and being overwhelmed by the moment. Let's get this last one in, yo. It's on you though, right?
No,
Wait,
it's definitely
it's
on
on me. It's
you, my guy.
on me.
It's
It's on
on
me.
you.
It's on me.
Eagles, Buccaneers.
Ah, this is easy. Now, you want to know an easy one? A one that I'm not concerned about? You want to know one? You say everything's going to be too hard, and you say it's going to be some great football. It will be some great football in every other game. But in that
Mhm.
game right there, that Eagles versus the Buccaneers game, that people are
Yeah, we
going to
already know
be
what's coming.
not excited to see that much. You don't have to worry. You're going to get exactly what you think you're going to get. You're going to get the Eagles blowing out the Buccaneers. How do I know? Ernest, how do you know? I don't know. Maybe it's because for the last 2 weeks, the Buccaneers have been limping along, right? They got their backs blown out by the New Orleans Saints. And then last week, they barely, and I mean barely, beat the Carolina Panthers. And they beat them by only field goals because your boy Baker was hurt a little bit. Now, I love Baker
Baker
and I
is
love
not
his
my
story.
boy. I
No,
don't love him and I don't love his story. So don't
listen,
say,
listen, listen,
don't say
listen, listen, listen,
your boy. Just
listen,
like Will Levis is
listen.
your boy. I'm
Will
just
Levis
saying.
is my guy for real. Baker Mayfield is a lot of people's boy, and I get it. Now, whoever that is,
I
I'm gonna
don't.
say
I don't get it.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
get
this
it.
to you. I'm gonna say this to you and the whole nation. Baker is going home. Baker is going home, and he's going home early.
I think we
This
knew
ain't gonna
that.
be
And
easy.
I hate that
It's gonna be easy. It's gonna
they
be
are
easy.
the Monday game. Like the Chiefs Dolphins should have been a Monday game or something. I don't know. It should have been a better game on Monday, in my opinion. But we're gonna move on from that. You heard what we had to say about the playoffs. If you got something to say, put it in the comments.
Put it in the
Um,
comments.
be respectful though. Okay. But our last segment of the show before we wrap it on up. So the last show I implemented the would you rather. And he liked it so much that now he wants to give it to me. What I rather. What I rather. So it's my turn to sit into the hot seat. So let's just go ahead and get right on into it before we wrap on up out of here.
All right, here we go. All right, you are. This is your situation. Mike Tomlin has retired, and he don't want to be there no more. Right?
How dare you?
You have the option between two head coaches who are applying for your job, Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. Who do you hire? Would you rather Nick Saban or Bill
Oh,
Belichick?
who's younger? Who's younger?
Who's younger? Who's
Who's
younger?
younger? Who's younger?
I
Who
think
is
Sa-
younger?
I think I think why are you doing that? I think Saban is younger.
I'm taking the young option, okay? I can't believe you did that to me. Okay, so Bill knows how to win, and he knows Super Bowl quality and caliber teams. Nick Saban knows how to win too, but I feel like Nick Saban is a little like rougher around the edges, and I feel like Pittsburgh is like a little rougher around the edges as well. So he would be a great fit there. But they both are like go MVPs of coaching. They both had NFL coaching experience, but I'm also going to take the younger option because the younger person is the one that could be around longer. I think next, just next.
Okay.
Tom, please don't
Okay.
want to wear, please.
Younger person. Who's younger? Who's still gonna be live? All right. So we got here. Would you rather? You're the Chicago Bears now. Would you rather keep Justin Fields or go out and draft the number one quarterback in Caleb Williams?
Neither. Take the backup quarterback. Kidding. Um, Although I would say no, keep. if we're going to get a new QB coach and a new offensive coordinator who knows what they're doing, then you keep Justin because the team can build around him if he develops. But if we don't get a new QB coach, no, keep him because you know why? In my thinking, you don't want to ruin another young man. You don't want to ruin another young man. Do they got the number 1 pick this draft? I thought Washington had it.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Chicago
The Bears
will have it. Mm-hmm.
Well, Caleb, you might want to go back to school, baby, because you know where you're going. In real life.
In real life. All right, cool. Would you rather spend a day with Big Ben or Jerome Bettis?
Jerome Bettis? What are you talking about? Put me on the bus. You should have started off with that one. What? Jerome Bettis. I got one of his throwback jerseys. Don't even play with me. I don't play. Jerome.
Okay.
Yeah. That was too easy. You should.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Have you had a chance to see Stephen A. Smith talk about Whitlock yet?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, had a chance to hear about Cat Williams?
Yes, I heard. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Would you rather?
Uh-oh. I'm nervous now. Where is this going?
Wait, hold on. Let me look at the comments right quick. Oh, I can't get it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Look at the voice said. Look at the shout out to the voice. One is 71 and the other is 70. A Rams jersey. Aren't all the Steelers jersey the same? No.
What?
All right, let's see. I'm busy. Hold on. He said a Rams jersey. Aren't all the Steelers jerseys the same? Okay.
Absolutely not.
No? They seem the same to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, cool.
Aren't the Saints jerseys the same?
Oh, we got style and innovation in our outfit.
Please.
So
please.
Sorry,
please.
Sorry,
please.
Man. Either way.
Please. How about innovation? Please.
Hey, you know how we coming. Like, I mean, we can even go straight up Mardi Gras uniforms and stop it. Never boring.
Now, if you had a Mardi Gras uniform, I would shut up.
Have you seen this in the all white joints?
Please. Have you seen this in the all yellow joints? The heck? Mm-hmm. Moving on.
All right, cool. Okay. Now, would you rather somebody would you rather be roasted or be brought up in the Cat Williams interview, or would you rather somebody in a single shot just completely obliterate your character? Got Stephen A. Smith, Cat Williams.
What? This is not even the same caliber of conversation here.
All right, let me give you another. I'm gonna come back to that one. You ready? All right, cool. Let's come back out. You've been on the road a little bit, and you've been going to a few different games. You've done some women's college basketball. Question based on what you know now: would you rather season tickets to a WNBA team or season tickets to women's college basketball?
WNBA.
Tell me why.
I even though I love college. Well, it also depends on which team. But for me, I love seeing the young women move into WNBA and them getting to be at that success level. I feel like the WNBA is come a long way, and me actually being a dancer for a WNBA team, I got to see firsthand the involvement, the crowd, and like when it actually works, like when it's good. Like some teams actually have really good followings, like the Connecticut Sun and the LA Sparks and the Liberty. So they have the Liberty has a really good fan base. So I would love to be able to have season tickets there. It's like I would love to be able to do that. Like, is getting to see them be as successful as they can be. That's just amazing.
Okay, okay, I'm with you. Last one for me. All right, now, would you rather? And we'll do the Cat Williams one in a little bit. But would you rather be an NFL team that gets to the first round and gets knocked out of the playoffs in a blowout, or not make the playoffs at all?
Why I gotta be a blowout? I'd rather make it because at least we made it. Mm. Where was you? Where was you on Super Wild Card Weekend? On the couch.
Not getting blown out.
Your coach was getting fired, but I was getting paid, and I got to play another game. And your coach
Okay,
was probably getting fired, and mine wasn't. So,
okay,
mm,
okay, okay.
regardless of what, making it to the playoffs is a success for in a lot of people's minds. In my mind, if your team makes it to the playoffs, it is a success. Whether you make it past that first game, because those first games are the hardest games, in my opinion. Those are the hardest games because it's like when I try out for cheer. What the preliminary round? Okay, well, guess what? It's going to do it now regardless. They're going to pick who they want to pick. You're going to make it or not. But getting from semifinals to finals is so much harder because everybody is good. Everybody is just as good as you. Everybody is fighting to the death for it. Everybody mindset has now changed, and now it's like it's pure on knockout competition. So if you make it to finals, like you that chick for real. But at least you made it. Like, at least if I made it to semifinals, I can like, but at least I made it to semifinals. I got one step closer. So I mean, next year, hope I can get another step closer. But if I ain't make it at all, it's like, well, God, no, I ain't even. How you hang from outside the club? You can't even get in. Chris Brown said it. I mean,
Okay,
that's how I
okay,
look at it. That's how I
okay,
look at it.
okay.
This
I
man.
feel that. I feel that. And you know what? It's funny that we'll end right there because that is the exact situation you're in, and the exact situation that I'm in. So you would rather be you and not me, and I agree. So so I'm a Saints fan, and my Saints will be at home this weekend. Even though we ended on a high note. Um,
But
you will
that matters too.
Yeah, yeah. You guys will be in the playoffs. And doing your thing. Let's wrap it up here. Any final thoughts, Des? Go for it.
I do want to say I don't want to cheat the game. I think I would rather be brought up in the Cat Williams situation because not all of it was, I feel like when you're just the main target, it's like it's gutter, it's like a diss track, super diss track. But if I'm brought up
Okay,
in a Cat
okay.
Williams story, but if I'm brought up in a Cat Williams story, I can be like, you on crack. I don't believe that.
It
not
it
not all of not all of what he not all of what was said may have been true. But at least I wasn't the only one getting drugged and wrapped around. My name might not even stick because he might say somebody else's name that may stick harder than mine, so I don't have to worry about it. People might skip those like 30 seconds. They may go on to somebody else's. So I would rather be brought up with a whole bunch of people, and I'd be like, I'm a deny it either way. But
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd probably rather the Cat Williams one too a little bit. Only because like you said, it could have been either good or bad, or I could have caught a stray and be seen as a bit
right,
of a victim. You know what I mean? I
right,
could have caught a
right.
stray, be seen as a
See.
bit of a
But
victim.
when it's direct,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's
But
crazy.
I'm gonna say
Like,
this.
whoa.
But Stephen A. Smith to Whitlock didn't give. He ain't no comedian, so
Yeah, it wasn't
he
funny.
it wasn't funny, and it also what Whitlock said about him was a little funny, right? He was like, "How you play one game and average? How you play one game and average 1.5 points? It don't make sense. It can't. It can't happen. You would have to have played one other game to get to the point
Yeah.
five." He said he's the industry plant. Whitlock said some crazy. Now Whitlock sucks. That's facts. Like Whitlock, and when I say that, I just mean he said a lot about black people in the black community, and he hasn't
Yeah.
been. He doesn't seem like a great guy. And Steve brought up the fact that my boy Chris Broussard, and you know how Chris is. Like
Yeah.
Chris is so cool that Chris came to us, and Chris taught us for an hour. He spent with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how nice Chris is. That cool. Chris is that cool. You feel what I'm saying? Chris Broussard is that cool. And if if Chris Broussard don't like you, and like I'm just gonna say, professionally, if he don't like you, something wrong with you. Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just being honest with you. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, man, I got it. I don't know. I probably would rather be bought, like you said, in a Cat Williams one. Thank you for not cheating the game. I appreciate that.
Of course, I won't be cheating the game. And my final thought on all of this. We can't say that the system of the. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that because
Go ahead.
I may want a job with them one day. But all I will say is that I'm excited. I'm excited to see who gets fired next. That's my final thought. I feel like some coaches don't deserve to be fired. Some coaches did, and we're gonna see what happens in the offseason. I'm ready for the draft. I'm ready for the mock draft that we're gonna do. I'm excited. I'm pumped. So I'm ready to get past all of this. It just need to happen already.
If I were you, I'd be less excited to get past all of this because your fate is still out there, right? I've seen the Steelers.
Listen, my fate is not out there. You want to know why? I keep telling you, if we lose, we freaking lose. This won't be the first time we lost in the first round. We can win. We can win, but they're gonna stress me out so bad that I'm listen. I just want it to be. I want all of it to be over by now because I'm ready to see what the next season brings. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I want the games to be over like right now, but I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the future. I can't be excited for the future. I'm excited to see who our quarterback is going to be coming into the next season. Who our
you have your quarterback. That's it. That's it. The quarterback you got now is the quarterback you gonna have. That's why. Look, that's why it's not as advantageous. Because who else?
Get somebody else to do it. I don't.
Nope. The guy you have now is your guy.
We need a better QB coach. We need a better offensive coordinator. I'm excited to see.
You better grab Pickett and hold him tight. That's your guy.
It's the picket fence. I understand.
That's your guy. And ain't nothing gonna change about it. I'm sorry.
You know what? Right. You know what? You better leave me alone. You better leave me alone.
Have fun in the playoffs. Okay. All right.
Exactly. Go ahead and say your final thoughts. We're gonna wrap this thing up.
Those were my thoughts.
That was you know what? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a pleasure every time we get onto this podcast and we do this show. It makes me so excited that we get to sit here and talk about football because that's what we love. Football is our main love, and we love to talk about it. If you have any thoughts, comments, or anything, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment, be nice, please. But comment, let's have a conversation in the comments, and thank you all for tuning in. Also, again, thank you to the Ozell brand, and we shall see you on the next show. Bye.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do.